Then can you please respond and then we can start? Okay, fine. Meanwhile, let's continue in mobile. Once Eclipse will open in my laptop, then I will share from there. So, as I said, this is the first class of Selenium. From here, we will cover the Selenium and Selenium topics. This is the second part of our framework, sorry, our batch, and the last part will be the framework. Okay. So today's class will be mostly about the Selenium, about the Selenium history, how Selenium came and how every means day by day or year by year it has got its new version, what the new things we have updated, means the Selenium have been updated. Everything we will discuss today, and also we will learn about some theoretical knowledge based on the interview perspective. So today I'm going to cover all this, and later on we will see how we can install Selenium in our system and we can use it for writing our automation script. So let's start with the Selenium. Can anyone tell me what is Selenium? Anyone has any idea about Selenium definition? Anyone
Yeah,
wants
Selenium is an automation tool which is used to automate the manual test cases, and it's open source.
okay. Anyone else? Okay. So this is what I wanted to hear. Selenium is not an automation tool. Okay. It is not a tool. This is a confusion. This is a myth about generally everyone has. This kind of question you can expect. Like interviewer will ask you just to test the knowledge if you have the perfect correct knowledge of Selenium or not. If talk about if you know UFT or QTP, that is for desktop based application automating automation tool, something which we can download, something which we can install in our laptop or in our system. Okay, that will create after installing, that will create an icon. We generally click on that icon, then that application opens. So this is known as a tool. This, if you say, then if you can say this kind of uh, download that you have done is a tool. But if you any of you have done Selenium configuration in your system, then you may have noticed there is no such icon called Selenium which you can click and which you can open. In that tool you do everything, your automation scripting and all. So there is no such facility for Selenium. But same thing we can do in UFT or QTP. QTP is its own tool where you write or your there you create your automation framework, and every facility is available over there. But in Selenium, this is not the case. We use Selenium in Eclipse. In Eclipse IDE, we configure each and everything. So if there is no such icon, there is no such facility available. So that thing we cannot term as a tool. So Selenium, so the correct definition of Selenium is Selenium is an open source web-based automation suite which consists of libraries and jar files which we use to automate our web-based application. So Selenium is basically an automation suite which has lots of libraries, which consist of libraries, and those library consist of several jar files. So Selenium is basically a suite which consists of libraries which we use to automate our web-based application. Okay, so this is the confusion that remains with everybody. So now I hope this confusion is clear. right?
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
Okay. So never say to any interviewer, like if he has the knowledge, then intentionally he will ask just to test. You are saying tool or suit. Okay. So now I'm sharing my screen from my laptop now. If you can see my screen, then please let me know.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. So this is the definition of a Selenium. Selenium is an open source test automation suite which consists of libraries that is used to automate web-based application.
Sunny, we are able to see from Selenium advantages, not
Yes,
definition.
yes. Definition actually is not. I have not written in this document intentionally.
Okay, okay,
Just
okay.
wanted to hear that word tool. Okay. Then now let's move on to the advantages. Why Selenium is so much popular? Why we everyone in the market talking about Selenium, Selenium, Selenium? Why there is no any other option, right? So let's talk about the advantage of Selenium. First of all, it is an open source testing framework. It is an open source, that is you can freely download, you can configure it, you can customize it based on your requirement, based on your need. You do not have to purchase any license. That means you do not need to pay anything for this. It is freely available, right? There is no cost involved like QTP and UFT. For UFT you have to purchase a license from HP, and then only you can use it, so it's very costly. Second one, as I mentioned, it supports test across various browser. Like it you can not only in Chrome browser, but on Firefox, on Microsoft Edge, on Safari, on Opera, any kind of browser you can use for automating your web-based application. That means same web-based application that you have automated can be run across all the browsers. One can create a script for test cases and can execute it on different browsers. Third is it allows creating automation script by various languages. It is not language dependent. If you know Java, still you can use automation Selenium. If you know Ruby, Python, Java, any kind of programming language. If you have a knowledge of any one of the programming language, you can use Selenium. It is not like only you need to know Java. But mostly in the market is occupied with Selenium Java. Java is very old. That is why means 60 to 70%, if I say, prefer Selenium Java. Nowadays they are looking for Python also. Python again is getting capturing the market. In the development side, if I say, Python almost occupied the market. Like now Java, Python both are same. But in automation perspective, Python is growing up. And now he is the Python Selenium Python concept is now getting more. This market has more requirement for this. And just the language are JavaScript, Perl, C Sharp, .NET, and PHP. But mostly still we use Selenium Java. If you learn Java, Python is almost similar because Python is also based on object-oriented programming language. So you just need to know the basics of Python. And if you learn Selenium with Java, then there are some syntax difference that you not need to know. Apart after that, you can your own self means by your own self you can explore this area if you know Selenium Java. Fourth one is that it supports various environments such as Windows, Linux, Mac, and OS. It is not even environment dependent. If you know Windows, if you have Windows, you can use automation, Selenium automation. Or if you have different operating system, then that also you can use. It means if I summarize these 4 points, then you can run your automation script using Selenium across different programming language, across different browsers, across different environments, and language facility is also available. You, if you know Java, then you can use Selenium. If you know Python, you can use Selenium. It is not like you don't know Java, then you cannot use Selenium as an automation tool. Sorry, automation suite. So these are the advantages. That is why, first of all, it is free, and second, these 3 points. There is no dependency. Now we will talk about the disadvantage. First disadvantage, that it only supports web-based application. Desktop-based application you cannot automate with the help of Selenium. For that, there are different options available that you have to use. Tosca is there, QTP is there. So those are licensed based tool. So those are used for automating desktop-based application. One more tool is there, which is not a tool. This is known as Venium. That is almost similar to Selenium. That is also used for automating desktop-based application. Second thing is that there is no technical support like UFT. Technical support means UFT is a tool which is given by the HP. If you purchase a license from UFT, later on in future, if you face any difficulty, like your tool, that tool that you have purchased is not performing, or this option is not available, this facility is not available, or the tool is crashed, it is not working. So that kind of facility, that kind of technical support you can get from the HP. You just need to connect with them, and they will come and they will fix your issue. So this is the facility. But in Selenium, this facility is not, this such facility is not available, because since it is a free open source suite, which we simply download and use it. So there is no such technical support. You have to rely on your, like in your project, you have to rely on your test lead who has vast experience in Selenium automation, or you have to rely on the customer communities. Like in the currently there are Stack Overflows and so many other websites where you, if you search your any query related to Selenium, those are available there. From there you can get such knowledge. So you have to rely only on that. In project, you have to rely on your test lead.
Selenium ORG is one of the website.
Yeah, right. Third thing that it one second. Okay, the third thing is that it doesn't generate a test result report. If you run your automation script, it will not generate any report after execution of the test. This facility is not available in Selenium. So for that, you need to integrate TestNG or JUnit framework for generating the report. The report generated by TestNG will be very basic. There is an advanced version, there is an advanced reporting concept which is known as extent report. That it is very advanced, and it look wise, UI wise, it looks very premium. So that we will learn in our framework class. So again, if something which is not provided by Selenium, we have to look for any third party library or any uh, jar files available, which that you have to download and integrate with the Selenium. Then with the help of that third party library, you can achieve that. So for this, for reporting purpose, either you can integrate TestNG or you can go with that extend report. We cannot perform image based testing in Selenium. Image, like there is an image that if you want to automate that one, that is not possible. For that, there is a tool called Seculi that you have to use to perform image based testing. But we generally, means it's very rare we automate any image. So disadvantage is not has means it doesn't have more impact. We need to integrate Selenium with Jenkins or Maven to achieve continuous integration testing. What is continuous integration testing? I will explain this when I will take the Maven or Jenkins class. Okay. Yes, equally is the question. For image, equally is a tool, yes. Image based testing. That is a library again that you have to integrate with Selenium. Okay, so if you have observed one thing here, there are disadvantages, but still there is an option, there is a workaround available, and that workaround is also free of cost. So that is why, due to such disadvantages, also Selenium is more popular because we just need to integrate any third party tool. We have to learn some coding concepts of that, and easily we can use it without paying anything. So that is why, because of all these disadvantages, also Selenium is more popular. Okay. So this is a introduction of advantage and disadvantage of Selenium. Now we will learn about.
Sunny,
Yes.
I have one question.
Mhm.
How about PDF automation can be able to achieve in Selenium? Because I have heard that it's very difficult to get like compare PDF.
Yeah, it is very. It is little bit technical. Uh,
Okay.
there is a, again third party available for that. If you explore, that you can get it. Actually, currently means in my project also, that
Okay.
PDF part we are doing POC on that.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it.
Yeah.
So yes, I would say because I'm actually doing it right now, so it's actually a little bit tricky and technical. It's not as easy as the different topics of Selenium.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Got
if you need, I can provide the details like which API or which that you can use. But again, you have to explore that.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Understand. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So different types of Selenium. First one is Selenium 1.1, 1.0, which consists of Selenium ID, Selenium RC, and Selenium Grid. Initially, when Selenium came into the picture, these three tools were these three. Uh, you can say the first type was the Selenium 1.0. Under this, these components are available: Selenium ID, Selenium RC, Selenium Grid. Okay. In the second version, they have introduced one more component which is known as Selenium WebDriver. So we can see Selenium 1.0 plus Selenium WebDriver. This is the second version. In the third version they have removed Selenium RC. This WebDriver has replaced Selenium RC. And now currently we are using Selenium 3.0. So the combination of Selenium ID, WebDriver, and Grid. There is no, we do not use Selenium ID, we do not use Selenium RC because I will explain about this too in the later section of this class. Then you will understand there is no meaning of ID or RC. Yes. That is why RC is totally scrapped. Selenium ID is still available for the beginners, like who do not have any knowledge of automation. They can get a feel about how automation looks like. For them, Selenium ID just for practice purpose. There are lots of disadvantages of Selenium ID that we can discuss. Okay, so the currently Selenium 3.0 is more, means currently it is a very stable version and everyone is using this one only. From here we use Selenium WebDriver. This is actually Selenium. And for cross browser testing we use Selenium Grid. Okay. In Selenium 3.0, Selenium RC has been removed. Why it has been removed? We will discuss that. So now one by one we will discuss about every version in detail. So first of all, we will discuss about the drawbacks of Selenium 1.0. Why Selenium 2.0 comes into the market? Definitely there will be some drawbacks, right? So first of all, Selenium 1 is a combination of Selenium IDE and RC and Selenium Grid. So let's understand the drawback of Selenium IDE. Here I haven't mentioned Selenium Grid because there is no drawbacks of Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid is still getting used. If you see here also they have continued with started with Selenium Grid. Here also they continued with Selenium Grid, and here also they continued with Selenium Grid. So they haven't removed Selenium Grid. So that is the reason is there is only advantages. There is no disadvantage. So we will learn about the drawbacks of Selenium ID and RC. What are the drawbacks? The drawbacks of Selenium ID. It comes with a plugin feature. When Selenium 1.0 comes into the market, then at the time it was only supporting Firefox. Selenium ID is nothing but a plugin, like other plugins that configure with the Chrome browser or any browser. So Selenium ID was a plugin, is a plugin right now, but initially it was only available with Firefox, no with other browsers. That means initially you cannot use Selenium ID with other browsers except Firefox. Right, it doesn't provide support for browser. Slowly they have started supporting Chrome. Now you can see Chrome option. Selenium ID plugin is available in Chrome also. Initially, Firefox was the default browser for Selenium. Slowly they have captured the different browsers. Second, it doesn't provide conditional and iteration operations. Now you know like what is conditional and iteration. In core Java, we have learned about this. So Selenium ID, you cannot write any conditional statement. You cannot write looping concepts. So if we do not use this tool, so there is no meaning. Like we cannot write our coding part without this tool. This is the essential part of any coding. Without conditional and looping statement, what is the meaning of coding, right? So, but this facility was not available in Selenium ID. Even it doesn't support parameterization. That means data-driven testing. I will explain about this data-driven parameterization in details in TestNG class. It doesn't support error handling and database testing. Error handling means exception. It will not provide any support if your program is giving any exception, and there is no facility to handle it even. It doesn't support database testing. We cannot implement framework in IDE. We can simply write small automation script, but we cannot create a framework. It doesn't support testing of iPhone and Android application. That means mobile based testing you cannot do with the help of Selenium ID. So these are the drawbacks due to which Selenium ID are not, we do not use Selenium ID. It is nothing but a plugin which comes with a record and playback feature. You will start a recording on the web application. You will perform some actions like, let's suppose there is an application where you have to log in. This part you want to automate. So you will open Selenium ID, you will click on record button, then that application will come in front of you. You will enter username, password, click on login. All these three actions will be captured because your Selenium ID is recording everything. It all will be captured. After that, once you stop the recording, you will see all the three statements, all the three actions are written automatically in the Selenium ID. Now, if you play back that script again, then same thing, application will open and all the three actions will be automatically performed. So this is what happened in Selenium ID. There is no facility to get an experience of coding. Everything is record and playback. So only for beginners, like for initial purpose, it is fine. But later on, there is no meaning of Selenium ID. Okay. So these are the drawbacks. Now we will discuss about the drawbacks of Selenium RC. It requires a server to execute test scripts across browsers. That means if you want to use Selenium ID, you have to start a server. Then that's it always requires that server to perform any test case execution on any browser. So once you run your automation script, first of all, that server will be started and then it will run your automation script across browsers. So what it basically does, it slows down the test case execution due to this server concept. Second, suppose there is a web element which is disabled on the web page. You can see that element on the page on the web application, but that is disabled. That means you cannot perform any activity over there. So in general case, what will happen if a user tries to enter something? Then what is the expectation? Definitely, the user will not be able to enter anything because that is disabled. This is a general common sense. But in Selenium RC, what happens? It can enter a value even in the disabled text box. That means when Selenium RC will open a browser and will open that application, so that may not be treated as a disabled web element. So this is a drawback. Like it is not correctly communicating with the application. There are some flaws. There are some drawbacks in the Selenium RC. In the past, many Selenium testers have complained about this weird behavior. Next is the API, the RC API. It contains redundancies and confusing commands. User often gets confused with the commands. Like if you have to type anything, for that there is a command called types. If you want to click on any element, there is a command called click mouse down or mouse down at. That means for a single action, there are multiple, means more than one commands are available. So now the problem is you have to understand each and every command and its function. That is a very lengthy and unnecessary task. Like for a single action, I just need one command. Why there will be multiple commands? Right. So, but this problem was there in RC. Apart from that, different browser interpret each of these commands in different ways too. Like in Chrome, if you are able to type anything with this command, then in Firefox, it may not be the same case. That means if Chrome browser is interpreting this command in one way, then Firefox will treat it in a different. That was again a problem with Selenium RC. So actually, there were so many technical flaws in the Selenium RC. Next thing is doesn't support HTML unit browser. HTML unit browser means it is a headless browser. Headless browser means once you will automate start running your automation script, your no Chrome browser will be launched. You will not be able to see any Chrome browser is launching or any script is getting executed. But it is not like it is not happening. In the backend, everything is happening. After some time, you will see the result on the console. Your script has been executed, but you will not be able to see anything. So this is the meaning of headless browser, and that we can achieve with the help of HTML unit browser. But RC doesn't support this. These are the drawbacks of Selenium RC. So to overcome this drawback, Selenium 2.0 version is released. So what happens in this? Advantages. Selenium WebDriver comes into the market to remove, to overcome all these drawbacks. So whatever the drawbacks you have learned in this Selenium ID and Selenium RC, all are the advantages of Selenium WebDriver. It provides driver to work with all the supported browsers. You can use conditional and looping statements. You can perform data-driven testing. You can handle exception. You can do database testing. You can implement framework. You can directly integrates with the browser. You do not need to need any server. It has a faster execution speed. It has clear defined commands for each of the action performed on the web page elements. That means for every action there is only one command available. It provides a realistic integration with the interaction with the page elements. It means if any element is disabled, it means it is disabled. It provides support for the HTML unit browser. So basically the drawbacks that we have learned in Selenium IDE and Selenium RC, those are overcome with the help of Selenium WebDriver. So that is why this is actually known as Selenium. And we learn about among these four components, Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. We learn about Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid. So this is the Selenium 2.0. But again, Selenium 3.0 also comes into the market. The reason is Selenium 2.0 has some bug issues. Like the Selenium tester has reported some bugs. So basically, those bugs got fixed. Then Selenium team has released Selenium 3.0. We can say it is a bug fixes from Selenium 2.0. This is the one reason. Second reason, now it has scrapped Selenium RC and they have moved into a legacy package. Now it becomes a legacy. No one is using it. It is scrapped from the market because Selenium WebDriver overcomes this. Third and the most important update is introduction of Gecko driver. Initially, when we are using Selenium WebDriver, like in Selenium 2.0, if I say, when we were using Selenium WebDriver, so we do not need to install any drivers. Generally, what happens for every browser, like how Selenium can run a single automation script across different browsers, how it is possible. So actually, for every browser, Selenium needs a driver. For every browser, there is a dedicated driver available. With the help of that, we can run our automation script on any browser. But in Selenium 2.0, especially for Firefox, there no driver was required. That means you just need to write your automation script and automatically, by default, it actually Selenium supporting the Firefox. Without even any driver, you can run your automation script, especially in Firefox, not for other browsers. So in Selenium 3.0, what happens for Firefox also, they have introduced a driver which is known as Gecko driver. Mozilla has made some changes to the Firefox. If you are using Mozilla Firefox having version above 47, you have to install Gecko driver and you have to configure it with your Selenium. But if you are using Firefox version below 47, then you do not need to install any Gecko driver. So whether you are working on Selenium WebDriver version 2 or 3, if your Firefox version is above 47, you have to install Gecko driver. So this was the major change in the Selenium 3.0 they have done. So with this change now, if anyone is using Selenium 2.0 or Selenium 3.0, if your Firefox version is below 47, at that time the Firefox version was in between 40 to 50. So this concept was come. Now if you see the Firefox version is above 100, so we do not need to bother about this now. You have to install Gecko driver. There is no other option if you want to run your automation script in Firefox. But this is a concept which you should know. Okay. So these are the changes basically happened in Selenium 3.0. That is why it came into the market, and this is currently the most stable version of Selenium. Everyone uses this only. But if you are aware of or not, Selenium 4.0 is also in the market. When it has launched, so its version was Alpha 3. With Alpha 3 version, this Selenium 4 version has launched in the market. Selenium 4 actually has adopted the W3 standard WebDriver protocol. So what is W3 standard? If you are aware of or not, if you talk about, if you discuss this with the any developer, any Java developer or any web page developer, PHP, JavaScript or HTML, they know about the W3C standard. Basically, every developer, whenever they develop any application, they follow a protocol for writing their code. There is a standard of coding standard, which is based on W3C standard. They follow this protocol, and based on this standard, they write their codes. Because any application cannot be used locally or in a particular region or only in a country. Facebook is used globally, right? So the only purpose to follow like English, if you say, this is an internationally accepted language, so that we can understand the feelings and the meaning about each and every person. There is no boundary of any country or any religion, right? Anyone can communicate if they have this the knowledge of this specific language. So in the development perspective also, there is a protocol that every developer belongs to any part of the world, they have to follow this protocol. There is a standard so that everyone can understand what the coding standard and how they have developed that particular application. So this is the W3C standard, internationally accepted protocol. So Selenium 4 has also adopted this protocol. This is the major change in the Selenium 4. All the browsers like Google Chrome, Safari, Internet, and many more are now follow the W3 standard protocol. Okay, so since all the browsers from the start only, that means in Selenium 2.0 and Selenium 3.0, they used to follow this protocol. But Selenium was not following this protocol. So do, sometimes it was happening like there was a problem in interacting with these browsers that happened in Selenium 2.0 and Selenium 3.0. So what they have done, they have also followed this protocol just to remove that problem, due to which the interaction between browser driver and the Selenium WebDriver now will be based on this standard WebDriver protocol. Like if anyone will ask you how the interaction happens between browser and your automation script, so that is basically based on this protocol, W3 standard protocol. And when this came into the market, it is actually released in April 2019 with Alpha 3 version. It was not a stable version at that time. Currently, there are lots of changes happened in Selenium 4. I do not remember. And there are some new concepts also they have added in Selenium 4 that are actually very interesting. But still, I think it is not very stable. But now uh, they have an interviewer has started asking questions from Selenium 4 also, like basic questions. What changes have happened? Because the framework that is already designed, that is based on Selenium 3 only. So it is not an easy task to jump from Selenium 3 to 4. So still we are continuing with Selenium 3 only. But there are some advantages. There are some interesting thing happened in Selenium 4 that we have to understand. That we at least we should have a knowledge of that. So this one I already told you, W3C standard protocol, right? So in Selenium 4 they have adopted. Before that, what was the protocol? So before that, JSON wire protocol, Selenium used to follow for interaction between browser and your automation script. This is the protocol. Now they have moved to the W3C standard protocol for interacting with your browser and your automation script. This is first change happened in Selenium 4. And this is the difference you can see. Now some architectural related changes. Some browser support Selenium has removed in Selenium 4. Those browsers are Opera and Phantom.js. These two browser support has been scrapped. Opera users now they have used to Chrome browser, and Phantom.js user can use Chrome or Firefox in headless mode. I haven't used this browser, Phantom.js, so I'm not aware of this. Opera, you also may have used in your mobile, right? So for first of all, this two support is removed. Opera users now can go ahead with Chrome, and Phantom.js user can go ahead with Chrome and Firefox, but in headless mode, they can use it. Optimized Selenium grid means in grid they have optimized uh, some internal structural changes, because it is basically developed in 2011, and from since that then onward there was no some major configuration changes happened, but in Selenium 4 they have done some changes. Initially there was problem connecting with the grid and the node. There is a concept of grid and node in Selenium, sorry, node and the hub in Selenium grid. So sometimes there was a problem in establishing the connection. So that kind of problem they have removed by doing some internal changes. So this is again an major change that happened in Selenium 4. They have optimized the Selenium grid. Selenium 4 has come up with new architecture to remove issues which occurs earlier during installation and configuration, and also during connection between hub and node machine. This is what I said regarding the grid. So they have done this kind of optimization in Selenium grid. Standardized document. Documents play an essential role for any user, and Selenium documents were not updated since Selenium 2.0. Like till Selenium 2.0, everything was documented. Every version, every history are documented. But from Selenium 2.0, they have released different versions, but they have not documented the details about each and every versions. So Selenium 2.0, so many versions they have introduced. They have released Selenium 3 also came into the market. They have released so many different versions, but no documentation was available. But in Selenium 4, they have documented about each and everything till the latest version. So now you can go to the official website of Selenium and you can see the documentation of each and every versions. What actually happened over there. Okay. They have done some improvement in Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE is a record and playback tool that is used for user integration interaction with the browser. And the new version of IDE is available with more features. Like some of the disadvantages that we have discussed in Selenium IDE, those have been removed. As Selenium IDE now can generate a report also, very basic report. They can they allow now the conditional and looping statement. So these kind of drawbacks, they have removed Selenium from Selenium IDE. But still, there is no comparison between IDE and WebDriver. Right? So these are the architectural related changes happened in Selenium 4. Now some new features have been introduced in Selenium 4. First is capturing screenshot. If you have any knowledge, or I will explain you, there is a facility in Selenium, capture a screenshot of a web page. Any web page that is open, you can capture in a screenshot and you can store that screenshot at a particular location. But initially, you can only capture the entire page location. Let's suppose this is a web page. You can capture the entire web page. But let's suppose I only want to capture this part, this element. It was not possible. But this feature have been has been included in Selenium. Now you can capture screenshot of a specific web element also. This is the new feature implemented in Selenium. Open a new tab on a browser. There is a concept, multiple tabs handling. You can open multiple tabs. You can navigate across multiple tabs, and you can perform your automation script. But there was no such facility to open two different browsers. Right. Multiple tabs you can open, but multiple you cannot navigate across multiple browsers. Like multiple Chrome browser has opened. You cannot navigate across multiple Chrome browsers. Across multiple tabs on the same browser, you can navigate. So open a new window on browser. This facility is also included in Selenium. Now you can navigate across multiple browsers. Open new tab on browser. If a user wants to open two URLs in two different tabs at the same time, like from the same automation script, if you want to open two different application URL at the same time on the same browser, that you can also do. Two URLs will open directly on two different tabs. Two tabs will open on the same browser, and in one tab, one application URL will load, and in the second tab, second URL will load. This now you can do in Selenium 4. This is a open a new tab concept in browser, and this is the navigating across different browsers. This also we can use with the Selenium 4 now. Object location. User can achieve coordinates. Now user can get to know about the coordinates, dimensions, height, and width. That means the location of any web element. These kind of details now you can also get with Selenium 4. Relative locators. Relative XPath we know, but there is a new concept known as relative locators. These are also known as friendly locators, and this functionality is being added to find out the element which is present nearby to the other web element. Let's suppose uh, for example, let's suppose this is your web page and this is your one element. If you want to navigate from here to here, or from here to right, or from here to left, or from here to up, you can do this. That means left, right, bottom, and up navigation from a particular web element is possible. You have identified this one, and from here you can navigate to left, right, you can navigate to left, up, and down. So below, to left, to the right of above. These relative locators now they have implemented. That means you just need to identify an element and then write dot below. It will go to the below location. Dot to left of, it will go to the left. To right of, it will go to the right. Above, if you write, then it will go to the above. And if you write near, then it will target the web element which is away approx 50 pixels. Like from this element, if you write near, so it will target all the elements which are at a distance of 50 pixels from this web element. It can be up, it can be left, it can be right, it can be down. Across 50 pixel, it will target all the web elements if you just write near. So how to locate any web element, this thing we will discuss in tomorrow's class. Okay.
Sunny,
Yes,
we have like this is picture in 3.0 also, no, where we can do move to element and we can navigate target
extra
left, right.
access. Ancestor and child parent concept you're saying.
So this is like related to moving from one field to other field, no?
That we can do with the help of XPath.
Okay. How? What about this one?
So for that you have to locate with the help of an XPath. But these are inbuilt methods. For that you do not need to locate any that such element. Just use this function and automatically it will be moved. In Selenium 3 also we can do that, but for that we have to use XPath. From one element, let's suppose from this element to, if you want to go to this element, then you have to write an XPath structure. Then
Okay.
only it
Okay.
is possible. I will explain XPath access also. But here what will happen? You will just locate this one and you will just write dot below. Automatically it will come here. That means this method is now available. But if this method is not available, so how we can do that? That I will explain in the XPath class. Then you will understand the importance of these methods. For that, you
Okay.
have to write so many structural things. Then you can navigate from here to here or from here to here. But just by using this method, lots of problem will be solved. Like the XPath can be very big in length. So you can shorten the length of the XPath by using this methods.
Okay. And also for window handles also we have for interacting with the two windows of same browser, we have window handles, no? Like why they have introduced this window handles for
Window
Selenium?
handles means they can handle, let's suppose if this browser is open, so they can navigate. You can only navigate in Selenium 3 from here to here or from here to here. But if I open one more Chrome browser here, like two Chrome browser is open, so that navigation is not possible in Selenium 3. From one browser to another browser, you cannot navigate. In the same browser, across multiple tabs, you can navigate till Selenium 3.
Yeah, second point I'm asking about new tabs. Two new tabs are open, no? That one.
New tabs are open. Okay. So what will happen? Directly these two tabs means right now what happens? When we automate, when we run our any automation script, one browser, one tab opens, right? At a time, you cannot open two tabs where two different
Okay.
applications is running. So now you can do this. Directly, a browser will open and two tabs will open. In one tab, one application is running. In the another tab, another application is running.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. No issues.
Okay. So these are some
Uh,
uh, features.
you mentioned
Yes.
that that can be achieved from uh, testing, is it? Like doing parallel execution.
Parallel execution we can achieve in test engine.
Okay, the same thing we can achieve here also. What do you mean in
Yes.
opening new tab in Selenium 4?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So these are some new features and some structural changes on Selenium 4 that makes Selenium more interesting. Okay. So these are the from the theoretical part of Selenium. From in our class, we will focus on Selenium WebDriver because this is actually the Selenium. Selenium WebDriver is a set of open source APIs. API means application programming interface. You can say library, which provides capabilities to interact with any of the modern web browsers and then in turn to automate the user actions with the browser. So since it is an open source APIs that you have to download, then only you can use Selenium. There is no such tool. You will download, you will install, you will run the exe file, then it will be installed. Then you will see such icons. These are tools, but Selenium is an API. It's a library which consists of several jar files that we can use to automate our application or our user actions across different browsers. Okay. Now we will learn about how we can install Selenium, how we can download this API, we can what are the steps that we have to follow to write our automation script with the help of Selenium. So first thing you need, if you are using Selenium Java combination, you need Eclipse ID. You need Eclipse ID. Your Java should be configured with the Eclipse. Like you should be able to write your Java program. You should be able to run your Java program in Eclipse. This is the first thing that we have already done in the core Java class. Okay. Next thing, you want to write your Selenium automations, right? So directly you cannot write this. So for Selenium classes, I have created a new project. If I expand this, okay, till the time it expands, let's move on to how we can download the Selenium. So this is the official website of Selenium, www.seleniumdev. After opening this, just click on this downloads. This page will come. Now you can see first Selenium server grid is available. And for Internet Explorer driver server is there. So many things you will see here, but you have to navigate. There are documentation section is also available. You have to basically navigate and you have to come to this section previous releases. From here you have to click on this releases link. Now you see the current version is Selenium 4.5. Okay. If you scroll down, this is the last version of Selenium 3.15. This is the most stable version in the Selenium. This is the most stable version of Selenium 3.141.59. Most stable version of Selenium. We will be using this version. Currently, I'm using this. Any version you can use. It is not any means dependency. Any version if you want, but till now, still means I would say do not use Selenium 4. You can download. You can use this one. This is the most stable, or you can go ahead the version which I'm using right. Just expand this, and from here you have to just scroll down, and here you will see Selenium Java. You have to download this zip file, Selenium Java, the version.zip. After downloading a zip, clicking on this, a zip file will be downloaded. You have to extract that zip file. Let me check if it is already downloaded or not. Okay, so there is the one Selenium Java. This is not a zip file. I have extracted this zip file. So now if you open this, so this it will look like this. See, there are jar files. It is a combination of different jar files and libraries. If you open this library folder, there are some jar files again over here. As I said, it is not a tool. It is a library. It is an API which consists of libraries and jar files. Right. This is the first step that you have to do. After that, go to your project. Now this is your project. Currently, only Java libraries is available over here. JRE library. Now, right now, you cannot write Selenium script. For that, you have to integrate your project with your Selenium libraries that you have downloaded. So, how you can integrate that? On the project, right click. Meanwhile, if you have anything to ask, you can ask.
Uh, Sunny, like Selenium Grid, is it possible to provide like what exactly Selenium Grid and how it works?
Selenium Grid I will cover. Like how
Okay.
we do this setup and how we run our automation script in Grid. That part I will.
No, no, it's like for parallel execution, right? Basically. Uh,
Okay. For parallel execution, like I can parallelly run across multiple browsers, but across a different environment system, I cannot do. Right.
yeah, that's true. But no, theoretically can try
Ah,
that.
that I will explain.
You mean to say should have same network to run multiple machines?
Means on the same IP address, I will run. Generally, it happens like means the actual real time scenario is
Yeah.
your one system will act as a hub and your three, four different system will act as a node. So in one system will you will run your automation script and on the other four system your script will be running. Let's suppose one system is Windows, another one is Vista, another one is Mac, and across all those different system, your same automation script is running in Chrome, Firefox, or Safari. So this activity can happen with grid on different environment system and on different even browsers also. Same automation script you can run from your. It is a remote connection generally. Selenium
Yeah.
grid is a remote connection.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So right click and now click on build path, and from here you have to click on configure build path. Generally we use now, right now we use the browser stack because it is not possible to get 4 5 systems. If let's suppose there is a requirement to run on 15 browser 50 browser at the same time, so 50 environment 50 system we cannot get in a project. So now they use virtual concept, like they create simulators using browser stack, and there they perform the Selenium grid operations. So
Okay, okay. That also will be covering as part of Selenium grid, is it?
no, browser stack I'm not covering here. For that you need a different configuration, like your laptop should be have 8 GB of RAM, and it requires more space. Without that you
Okay.
cannot use browser stack in your system.
Theoretically, also at least please cover that.
Theoretically I can cover, and also it requires a license. Means browser stack you cannot use freely.
Okay,
You have to
okay.
purchase a license for that. Okay, so after clicking on, you have to select these libraries. It will not be automatically selected. You have to select this. This I'm using Selenium Java version 8. So that is why it is coming like this. If you are using latest version of JDK, then one class path and one module path option will come here when you open this library. Class path and module path. So from your case, you have to select module path. This is an extra step that you all have to do. For me, it is not required. So from the options, you have to select module path, and then you will click on add external jars. So it will open a local file. From here, you have to integrate your Selenium jar files. First of all, select these two options, added. Now click on add external jars, click on labs and select all, and then open. Now all the jar files are added, right? All the jar files you have to add it. If there are multiple folders, every folders you have to open and you have to add. Now click on apply and close. After that, you will see a reference libraries coming here. Expand this, the jar files that you have added now available. So it means now your this Java project that you have created in Eclipse now configured with Selenium. Now you can start writing your Selenium script. Okay. So this is the step that you have to do. This is the configuration setup of Selenium with your project. So for today, this is means this is what I will cover, and means I have to travel somewhere, and so that's all for today's class. From tomorrow, again on the same time, 7:30, we will start writing our automation script, and we will learn about the locators. Okay, so that's all for today's class.
Thanks, Anil.
If you have anything, you can ask or we can drop off. Okay, then. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.